So I'm doing my PhD in, it's actually DRPH, is more cross-cutting and more leadership oriented. The difference between PhD and DRPH is PhD is more academic and DRPH is more practice oriented, more leadership oriented. So my field is a little bit more diverse, but my area of interest is health systems, and more precisely or more specifically is human resources for health. Actually, from a long time, I had been involved in youth activism in Bangladesh. I developed my own organization called United Nations Youth and Students Association of Bangladesh, which introduced many intellectual practices, and we were the first people who introduced model United Nations in Bangladesh and involve the youth in different activities around the youth. When I got involved with research, I found that the people who I am doing the research, for whom I'm doing the research, the result of those research is hardly reaching or trickling down to those people. And part of it, or rather I should say, the most of it is due to our policymakers, because they don't consider the locally generated knowledge or the knowledge generated by the youth, to be more like specific. They don't consider them very important or very precious. It was like searching for a ground where I can really express my like my own ideas, and suddenly at that time Emerging Voice came, and I thought that's the real place, and that's the place where I can express my ideas which are tormenting me. When I went there, I was thinking that, well, I know everything, I know how to talk, I know how to like write, but when I reached there and started like getting the training sessions, when I attended the training sessions, I realized that, I mean, how much improvement, how much more improvement I really need to get published, to speak in an towards an international audience. So they organized a training session for 2 weeks. It was marvelous. It actually transformed I should say my whole life actually. And then we went to Montreux to present our findings. That was another, I mean, fascinating experience, because people from all around the globe, all the researchers, the policymakers, everyone came there. And Emerging Voices, actually Wim van Dam, he came and told us that, look, you are young people, you can speak whatever you want. You don't really need to think about who will think about what you are talking or whatever. You just feel free, and you just become notorious. You know, you ask the questions which no other people can dare to ask. At the beginning of our discussion, we were talking about like my getting involved in the Johns Hopkins PhD program. It was, I mean, it was greatly helped, greatly influenced by my involvement with Emerging Voices, because I got in touch with many people who gave me nice ideas. When I wrote my application to Johns Hopkins, I discussed some of those issues. When they asked me what I'm going to conduct my research on, most of the answers that I gave were actually generated from the Montreux conference, which was actually a result of my participation in Emerging Voices. So definitely, in terms of, at least in terms of short-term objectives, it was really worthwhile.